Would you rather face an angry giant or be someone's slave? Let's travel back in time to when there were giants, mighty kingdoms, and a huge family of slaves who were set free and traveling home.
Yay! We're going to the Promised Land!
Hey, Dad, what's going on? What's the Promised Land?
Hundreds of years ago, God promised our family a land called Canaan to be our home. So we call it the Promised Land. But then our family became slaves in Egypt.
No way!
When I was a boy, I was a slave in Egypt.
Really?
Yes. But then the Lord God did amazing things to set us free so we could go to the Promised Land. We followed him and he took care of us. God told us it would always be for our good to fear him and obey him. Son, we must be careful to do what God says. Remember, when you trust God's way is best, then you choose to obey what he says. That's an important lesson we had to learn.
So why aren't we living in the Promised Land?
We were ready to enter Canaan. God told us to send 12 spies to explore what it was like. And after 40 days, when they got back, the spies told us the land was wonderful. But then they started arguing.
Why were they arguing?
10 of the spies thought it was too dangerous. I clearly remember one of those spies shouting, "This land is filled with huge armies. They will destroy us. And we saw giants. Some of them were so tall it made us feel as small as grasshoppers. We can't live there." People were so afraid they were crying and saying they wanted to go back to Egypt.
But they were slaves in Egypt.
Yes, but they feared the giants and huge armies more than they trusted God. But 2 of the spies begged everyone to trust God. They said,
This is the land God has promised. We don't have to be afraid of giants or armies because we can trust God is with us. Let's go into the land he has provided.
"We should have trusted God." You know, son, God knows everything. He knows what's best for you, and his plan is better than any you could ever make up on your own. God told us, "And you shall do what is right and good in the sight of the Lord, that it may go well with you." When you choose to obey God and go his way, you can trust him to lead you in the way that is best. God had brought us safely to Canaan like he promised, but people refused to trust him, and that brought trouble for everyone. We had to wander in the wilderness for 40 years. Everyone 20 years and older would never get to enter Canaan because they refused to trust God. After those people died, all of us who grew up in the wilderness would enter the Promised Land, along with Joshua and Caleb, the 2 spies who trusted God.
So that's why we've traveled around so much?
You were born during those 40 years, and God has always taken care of us. He protected our clothes so they never wore out and gave us food to eat. Now, he's brought us back to Canaan just as he promised. Joshua is going to lead us into the Promised Land tomorrow. He told us to get ready and trust God to do wonders.
I'll remember to trust God and obey what he says, even when it's not easy. I know his plan is better than any I could make up.
That's right, son. God's way is always best. Come, let's get a good night's sleep. Tomorrow will be an exciting day.
The people were foolish for not trusting God's way. Do you ever do that? God knows everything. He knows the best way for you to live. You can know God's way by reading the Bible. It says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make straight your paths." When you trust God's way is best, then you choose to obey what he says. Although it may not be easy, his plan is better than any plan you could make up on your own. Will you trust and obey what God says in the Bible? God's way is always best.